when I was first pregnant and I did notice them, I was really bummed and kind of got emotional about it. But at this point, I really don't care. Hello, I've got my computer right here with some questions, but I'm just going to go through some like weekly pregnancy check-in questions. I'm not going to start doing this every week or anything, but I thought this would be interesting and fun to do. I'm officially 28 weeks today, which means I hit my third trimester. So I'm 2/3 of the way done with my pregnancy, and things I mean, that went really fast. First is how far along, so 28 weeks as of today. Total weight gain loss. Then last time I weighed myself, it was 16 pounds total that I've gained. Definitely maternity clothes for sure. Stretch marks. So I have stretch marks from my last pregnancy, and they're more like white colored, and I like notice them in certain lighting, but they're not horrible. I did end up getting in my last pregnancy at the very end some darker purple ones, but before I got pregnant this last time, all of them had really subsided, or at least shrunken down to a point where you couldn't really see them anymore. And I'm really not worried about stretch marks, because at the end of the day, like, I get a beautiful baby, and it just isn't a concern of mine at all. When I was first pregnant and I did notice them, I was really bummed and kind of got emotional about it, from more of a vain perspective. But at this point, I really don't care. No one even really sees my stomach or anything like that, so it's not that big of a deal. Sleep has been pretty good. I had one wild, very vivid dream that I will just blame on pregnancy. But other than that, sleep has been pretty good. I was having stretches in there where I wasn't exactly sleeping from like 1 to 3 in the morning, just like randomly for no reason. But I found that even though I'm really tired, if I stay up until like 9 or 8:30, then I don't have those problems waking up as early. So I just have to make sure I stay up a little bit later, which is fine. There's plenty to do. Best moment this week. Oh, I was with my 2.5-year-old daughter, and she's starting to understand and recognize that I have a baby in my tummy. And she was kind of laying next to it, and the baby started kicking, and I asked her to look at it, and the baby gave me a really big kick. And so my daughter saw it, and the way she looked at me was so surprised and shocked and intrigued and surprised. She was in awe over this baby that's in my stomach, kicking and moving, and it really, I think, solidified some things for her in terms of like what we've been telling her about its growing and everything. And she gave it a kiss and said, "I'm here, I gotcha," and it was just really cute. The love that she has for her baby sister already is really magical and cool to see. So I hope it continues at least through the first couple of months. I understand sisters, from my experience, don't always get along 100% of the time, but if she can understand and care for her at least right away, that would be wonderful. Movement, a lot of like shifting, definitely this kicking and jabbing, but a lot of shifting too. And I can feel like when she's sitting on my bladder or has an elbow in it, it's not that great. Anything sweet, still really, I really wanted EL fudges this last week, so I got some from the grocery store. I really like those like round sugar cookies. They sell them at like the grocery store or Target, and it's like all butter and sugar, and that's pretty much all it is. So Rosie and I actually made some sugar cookies tonight. I figured it's a little bit better. Totally not, but it makes me feel better that I made them, I guess, and then we got to do something together. Anything making you queasy or sick? Really not at all, thank goodness. Except I have started to get heartburn, and it came on like freight train. and it was here. I remember having a lot of heartburn with my last pregnancy as well, and it's just something that I guess happens, and Rosie came out pretty much with a full head of hair, so, and she didn't lose much either, so I don't know why this one wouldn't. So just making a head of hair, I guess, and that I understand that has a lot to do with heartburn, is the hair growth. So just eat some Tums and deal with it. Have I started to show yet? Yes, I have started to show. Gender is a girl. Labor signs, I did start getting some Braxton Hicks contractions, and I think I probably had these in my first pregnancy, but I didn't know what they were. But there was one I had last week that was very powerful and strong, kind of like it gave me pause, and I had to stop in the middle of what I was doing because my stomach gut was so tight. So I've been getting some of those. None of them were as bad as that one that I had, and it's not a sign of labor necessarily. It's just like practicing. So we'll just deal with those. Belly button in or out. I have a really deep belly button, so it's in. It'll probably stay in for the rest of my pregnancy. Wedding rings on or off. They're currently off, but they're on just fine. I took them off because we were making the cookies. Happy or moody most of the time. I think generally I'm pretty happy, but I have been more like hormonally emotional with reactions to things. Like I had two students who were like rough playing, and it made me really nervous that they were doing that so close to me, and instead of just asking them to stop and go away, I kind of yelled and then stop, and then just explained what you're doing makes me really nervous, and tears started welling up in my eyes because I'm just so protective over my baby already in my body and full of hormones, and it's very like maternal and almost animalistic in that type of response. Like I totally knew and understand what was happening to me, and they just kind of freaked out and like left and stopped what they were doing. But I've noticed that protection is much more prominent than just like if I would normally not have a baby in my stomach or not be pregnant. I'm definitely more protective of like my stomach and my body than I would be concerned with otherwise. But other than that, any like possible dangers, I've been fine, I think, happy and normally operating. Weekly wisdom. My husband and I this weekend will be taking a 2-day, 1-night trip to Door County just for ourselves, and I also joined a women's Bible study group through church, and I definitely feel like a sense of balance in my life, and we definitely don't go on as many date nights as we should with one another, my husband and I, but I feel like right now, while everything's pretty calm and chill, taking advantage of that time has been really important. And then milestones, as I said at the beginning, hitting my 3rd trimester has been pretty awesome, good. I feel good about where I'm at, and my husband is finishing one wall of our basement right now. Well, half of it's finished, and then like the laundry storage room is pretty big, but that's not finished because it has like our water heater and all that other stuff in it. So one wall of that he's finishing, and that will turn into my office. So he's doing that wall. We just got done sanding it. He said he'll prime it tomorrow, and then we'll move from our guest bedroom, the craft stuff that I have, it's not a lot, but that stuff down into the basement, and then that closet will open up for all the baby's clothes that we have. I have several boxes of diapers that I've already purchased that will go in there. We'll bring the crib up, move my desk and some like office drawers I have down. My daughter has it was her changing table. We took the top, like the changing pad off the top, and then it's just like a dresser right now for her, but we really don't even use it anymore. Most of the stuff that she has and needs and uses is in her closet, so we're going to move that over to the baby nursery as well, and then she'll have more room for stuff in her room. So everything is moving along nicely. I mean, we definitely still have some time, but we also have a lot of things to do before baby gets here that won't take very long. So I'm not stressed out about them or anything, but just stuff that needs to get done, like my hospital bag and registering for the hospital. Probably taking a tour would be a good idea since we're newer to the area. We don't need to take one, but we've discussed and want to take one just so we feel better about what to expect when we get there. An update about my placenta issue. I think I shared I'm going to wait until my 32-week appointment to do an ultrasound. So this next appointment will be my glucose test. Hopefully that all goes fine. I crave so many sweets, so I don't know. But also, it's so late in the pregnancy, I don't know what I would have to do if I did have gestational diabetes. So I don't know. I'll take a quick little belly shot. And then we'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you liked it, subscribe if you want to join me on my journey. And I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.